Hey everybody, welcome to Not Playing Magic Avacyn Restore Draft number 3, round 2. We won our first round in case you're joining us late. We are playing a white-red aggro deck, and during my intermission I did not have time to scout my opponent. Generally will, and generally in an aggro deck you hope that you're not the last game to finish like we were this past time. So no scouting on our opponent, and if we wanted to, we could take the time to do it now, which is quite possible what he's doing for us, though in the we can't change our deck at this point anyways, so it doesn't matter. Okay, our opponent has decided to play first, so we are on the draw, but even if we drew one land, we'd really be hoping for the second, so we are going to ship that hand back and be pretty happy with what we got in return. Depending on how slow or quick our opponent is, we may be playing these things in a little bit interesting order. Obviously the Vigilante is going to come out on the first turn regardless. There could be something to have been said about playing a Cruin Striker first, then a Vigilante, but if we draw another land, we want to play Cruin Striker to Cathar, and hope our opponent only has one creature out at that point in the game. Okay, we'll attack into that and give it its Undying before he can use it to kill us, so... Okay, our opponent does not want to bite. It's fine. We'll go ahead and put out our striker. If we draw a land and he still only has that one creature down, we're going to get in for a fair amount of damage next turn, so that's fine. Okay, our opponent does not have a second play, and we do not draw the land. Okay. We maybe want to get his Butcher Ghoul off the board by guising it and then attacking with both, offering him a trade of either. Though that's a lot of work to be doing just to get rid of a Butcher Ghoul. However, I can't profitably attack with my Striker right now, though. We're just going to go ahead and attack with the Vigilante and see if he wants to throw a body in front of it again, which, yeah, of course he doesn't. Okay, now our opponent's going to see that we're land screwed. And this is, again, the second game in a row we're playing that 16 lands has just not been good. And Corpse Traders craps on our deck, so that's bad. Ablated Bracers. Okay. We're going to try to get rid of that Corpse Traders on this play. This game is looking out of hand anyways, but my thought is if I attack with both and he blocks either with his Corpse Traders, then we can go ahead and guise it down in the second main step. So let's see what he decides to do. Just the Ghoul. Okay. That's the smart play on his part. Let's see, what's he going to toss out of our hand? Probably one of our two white cards. We'll go ahead and play out our Bracers. And we are going to... I wonder if we want to guise his Corpse Traders just yet. I don't think so. We're going to hold on to our guise. If he lets it stay in hand, it could, I guess, do some work with our Vigilante. Though I gotta imagine that Vigilante's dead here. He's probably deciding if he wants to Corpse Traders, and he realizes he needs to get in with the attack first. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. Our opponent's playing his black-red sack deck just the way he should. So let's see what he ends up throwing out of our hand. Probably the Seraph or the Commander. Neither of those are very good cards for us. Well, for him. Though he can see we're mana screwed, he may take out the Cathar. Yep, okay. So maybe he's got more creatures to sack and is just going to be running through our hand anyways. Quite possible. I wonder if the play here isn't just to go with the bracers on the Vigilante. we don't really have any other use of our mana, and in our next turn he's going to either pitch our commander or our Seraph. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and suit this guy up. Ugh, what a terrible line of play. Anyways, that's what we'll do. He won't be able to attack with his Corpse Traders because he knows we have the guys, and if he does, we will just trade a Vigilante for his Corpse Traders. Gotta think he's going to play another Undying creature here and end up looking through our hand again. But maybe that's not what he's able to do, so we'll see. Maybe just forgot that we had the... Oh, I'm dumb. Can't play a non-instant speed spell on our turn. So, alright. Another misplay for the channel. Not something you like. And now he has another Undying in his hand for his Corpse Traders. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play out the Malcontents. It's not going to do much for us at this point, but it does stop his Corpse Traders from attacking at least. Okay. So we're just going to ship the turn off as expected. See, he's got his own Cathar, so we're going to be taking a lot of damage. He's actually got a very interesting deck. He's got sort of a low curve, but some good Undying creatures. And so getting that Corpse Traders out early is very big for him. We're probably going to do the same thing during this... let's see. Oh, he's going to pump his Shade for 1. Well, if he plans on Corpse Trading, then he might as well have... Alright. I mean, he's kind of got this game in the bag, so I don't think he's really worried about that. He's probably going to trade off his Cathar, actually. Nope. Alright. So we probably get rid of our Seraph here, since it's the only thing that stops up the board. Yep. On cue. Alright, there's our 4th land. Now, the question here is, what do we want to do? We want to play out our commander, because that's what he would remove from our hand. And he does have the ability to next turn. We also just want to F6, ship the turn over, and see what he swings in with. We got to decide at this point what we would be trading. We got to get a body on the Shade. Oh god. Another Cathar. I think that ends us. Let's see. He can get in for 7 if we block anything but the Shade. And then on our next turn, we don't really have a play to get a creature off the board. So yeah, we are going to concede game to this. GG to our opponent, Kyoro. We're going to take out the Bracers and add the Plains. And submit the deck. And I had to let the dog out. The dog is named Hazel. You will hear her probably in the background of some drafts coming up, or if you haven't already. And it's been really hot in Chicago lately. It's been in the 90s this past weekend, so it's been a tough time to be a dog in general. Okay, here's a hand that we like to see. We will not be mulliganing. We will go ahead and play out the Stonewright to Ringleader to Heirs, most likely. Linking our Stonewright and our Heirs, possibly. The odd thing is, we've played 2 decks with red, so our Intimidate, is of limited value. The key draw on the next turn would probably be our Cruton Striker, I gotta think. Not the Commander. Okay. We will declare attackers. Our opponent probably doesn't have a Ghoul Flasher. You gotta think that's a target to play it on. We really need to draw land in the next 2 turns. Alright. Go ahead and play out our mountain. I don't think we're in a spot where we need to soul on these guys before the attack. Obviously, so we'll go ahead and get in for 1 more. Alright, we'll bring out our ringleader. And we will soulbound these creatures. Okay, and then we just really hope we draw into a land. A plane's obviously for the better, but if not, we'll see what happens. Okay, we don't really want to trade with a Butcher Ghoul here. Or maybe he drew his Ghoul Flesh. Oh, he just Bone Splintered it. Okay, a fine play by our opponent. We drew our 4th land. We are going to go ahead and get out our heirs and make him play out a red creature if he's got it. We're also going to give her fire breathing because if he doesn't have it, then we're just going to pump her to 6 and give him a 3-turn clock. So he can pretty much attack in with whatever he wants on this turn, and we will allow it to happen. Okay, Riot Ringleader of his own. Not exactly what we wanted to see there. Okay, maybe we go Cruin Striker to Malcontents and just kind of hold off is one option. If he double blocks us, what kind of spot does that leave us in? He will only have... No, you know what? We gotta be hoping that we get our Gold Knight Commander in play and then get some creatures out because that'll buff our guys up to enough toughness to get around these 2/2 guys. So we are just going to sit on this turn and play out the Striker with the hopes that we draw a Plains or 2 Plains and we get our Commander to Seraph or Commander to Malcontents in. Because I'd really like to attack with these guys with our heirs specifically with 3 toughness rather than just trading it off for no good reason here. It's our 4-drop and one of our main creatures, so. Though he does have the ability to start corpse trading, which if we don't hit a Plains we're okay with because we're mana screwed. And of course we hit the Plains. Alright, we will play out our commander. We will pass the turn. He'll probably corpse trade on his next turn, we have to think. So let's think here. Do we want to... No, we don't want to take this this Cruin Striker and attack just yet. Though we do give him one less option for his corpse trading. Let's see, if we keep the Cruin Striker back, she attacks as a 3-2 next turn, and that still doesn't really do a whole lot different than it would do in this scenario. So we're going to attack with her. If he wants to let us get in our 3 points of damage, we'll take it. We don't want to give him a whole lot of corpse traders targets is the thing. Okay, so we'll roll over his Ghoul, and then we'll bring in the Malcontents next turn. If he has another Undying creature in hand, another Butcher Ghoul, that could be what he's... Yep. Well, there you go. So he's going to get rid of our Malcontents right here, and then pass the turn back to us, putting us in a spot where we need to draw the Plains. Corpse Traders is a very, very good card, and I would say very underrated card. Oh, so he takes a Seraph and allows us to get our Malcontents in next time. Okay. We're okay with that line of play. I don't know why he's thinking about swinging here. We're happy with him swinging, actually, so that's fine. One less guy to get in the way of our creatures. We're going to have 3 toughness on our next turn. Okay, we're still going to bring in the Malcontents. It's got more value in this deck than the Geist does, and if he corpse trades the Geist, that's fine. So we will go ahead and do, what's that, 4 to our opponent, plus buff all of our creatures to a spot where he would have to double block. So we're going to begin combat and attack with our 3 guys. And make him either double block or make him make the decision because we are the fast deck and we need to be the fast deck. Okay, so he's throwing the Butcher Ghoul on the Stone Right, which means this will be our last turn to pump our heirs, and we will do it for 5. I don't see how he can leave the commander in play with a good conscience, but that's okay. And our opponent is tapped out, so we don't really have to worry about a whole lot going on. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't have anything to trade off with Corpse Traders, or we don't, or we're gonna just be playing. Unbelievable. That's sort of how miracles work, though. They are always unbelievable, and they always end up burning you. So I don't know what he's gonna go for here. Probably our commander. Either way, it's bad, but it's got to be the commander. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and take the vampire. It's probably okay with us, though that might have just now taken enough out of his hand to where he doesn't have the option to corpse trade, which is also a good spot for us to be in. We also would like to see our opponent attack here. That's completely fine. Okay, so he's swinging with both. Cool. We gotta think of what he could have in hand. We maybe just want to, let's see if it's going to be a true trade or if he's got some like regen trick. Nope, he's just willing to get rid of that outright. Okay, perfect. We want our opponent to have less corpse traders, for sure. So we're going to play out the Geist and attack in with our now 3/3'd commander and offer him the straight trade with his ringleader. If he has the Necrobite, that would be a trick that we are not happy to see. But we have to make our opponents have cards in the aggro deck. So, all right. Well, we're in an okay spot this game now. Our opponent does have a few cards in hand, so he can start thinking about doing some interesting things, I'm sure, as the black-red deck, like bartering in blood. Okay, so we'll go ahead and sacrifice our 2 creatures, like we were told, and really hope that we draw into a few more. Okay, Lancer's a fine one to draw into. We'll play him out. And then chip the turnover. Let's see, cards we'd like to see, probably a Thatcher's Revolt, sadly. Having First Strike is nice because a lot of the Undying creatures aren't super huge. That's not a card we want to see standing in our way, though. Especially just drawing more lands. So we're going to have to ship this this turnover and maybe have been owned by a Barter in Blood. Let's see. Our opponent can attack, of course. See if he's got a creature to play out or if he just wanted to get in for 5. And he had a Pillar. A very good deck by our opponent. Good amount of removal and things, so. Alright, well, we're not quite out of it. Depending on, again, what else he has in his hand, but we are fine, hoping to draw into a creature. Especially a Thatcher's Revolt and outright winning. We'll have to see, though. Our opponent's going to get in for 5 again, and we know that. Let's see what he has in store for us. And it's nothing, so a Thatcher's Revolt could win the game. A Plains couldn't. Okay, are we blocking next turn? That's going to be the real question. I don't think we are, so I think we attack here. Yeah, a block's going to slow him down by 1 turn, and we need to really go for a win. So we'll attack in and take our 2 while we can. Let's see what our opponent has. Ooh, 7 mana. He's going to Deathwind us. That's just a lot of removal. Jeez. This might be the old good game. Losing a round 2 is not fun. But his deck is a good deck. Yep, so we say good game to our opponent. Nice removal. Between the Corpse Traders and all that removal, Our opponent just had a better game than us. Okay, so sorry for bringing you a garbage round 2. Mana screwed on the first game and just completely ran over by a very good deck on the second. I do like the way that opponent's deck played. It could play quick and it could play slow. So we'll see you guys in round 3. Still hoping to go 2-1.